Andrea, assistant editor here at the Feedfeed, and today I'm in the kitchen with Shun Cutlery, and I'm going to show you guys how to spatchcock, roulade, and carve a turkey. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take it out of the packaging and you're going to pat it dry. I recommend doing this on a sheet pan and not in your sink. That'll contaminate your sink, so you don't want to do that. And then you're just going to flip it over and have it breast side down onto the cutting board. You are going to be snipping out the backbone with some kitchen shears. So I have a pair of Shun kitchen shears, and I like to start from the tailbone back here. And you'll just start with one side and you'll go all the way up. And so then I like to flip it around so that I can start from this end because I'm right-handed. Boom. So now we have removed the backbone, so we can set that aside. You can use it for stock, you can use it for flavoring your gravy, you can roast it, get all that good flavor out. So now the rest, I like to give it a push this way. Now that this bird has the backbone out, we're going to flip it back over and use our kitchen shears to kind of trim up some of the fat that's here so that these legs can fall this way. There we go. That's a spatchcock position. All right, and you're gonna press down on the breastplate until you kind of hear it crack. There we go. So that it lays flat. And we're going to tuck the wings behind the breast. And then we're going to pat it dry with paper towels. One of the best reasons for spatchcocking your bird is that it cuts down the cook time. And normally with a trussed bird, like the legs are tucked underneath, so you don't get even browning. The breast cooks at a different temperature than the thighs. So by the time your thighs are done, your breast is overcooked. So spatchcocking really kind of eliminates that problem. And everything will cook very evenly and much quicker. So it'll take about an hour and a half. This is a 11-pound turkey. I think it's in season with our dry brine. So I know this looks like a lot of salt, but have no fear. It is going to absorb into the turkey, and you will have a flavored and seasoned bird all the way through with this dry brine. All right, so we're gonna also liberally season the underside, transferred onto a sheet pan. Ooh. It's gonna get wrapped up and then covered for about 48 hours, and then it'll be ready to roast. Alright, so we want to pat the bird dry so that our skin gets extra crispy, and then we're gonna coat it with just a little bit of canola oil. And that will help with even browning and getting a beautiful golden color on your turkey. You're going to transfer this bird onto the next one. All right, everything's tucked in. All right, so now it's ready to go into a 400-degree oven for about an hour and a half. About halfway through, I will come out and check it, maybe add a little bit more oil, maybe add a little aluminum foil so that the drumsticks and the tips don't burn. All right, so let's get it in the oven. So the next thing we're gonna do is our turkey roulade, which basically means that we're just gonna flip this over, this double-sided turkey breast with the skin still on, and these are the tenders, and we're gonna remove the tenders and then butterfly it open so that we can roll it. All right, so I'm going to I think this one's removed already, so that's one, but the tenders are right here, and you just make a couple slits, just like that. I like to put them in the middle so that you don't have any kind of gaps. But from here, we're just going to slowly start to make this turkey breast all about the same height, right? So I'm using the Shun Santoku, it's a 6.5 inch. I really like this one because it's just easy to use. It's kind of sometimes replaces my chef's knife, but it's a workhorse. And you're just gonna make small cuts. They don't have to be very deep, and you just start pulling it away to make it all even. All right, so now that I have it butterflied, I'm gonna lay it down where I have that gap, and then we're gonna start to fill it. So I have my stuffing here, and we are just gonna add it into kind of an even layer. We're gonna spread it out. My rule of thumb is generally go about 3/4 of the way with stuffing. So here is the fun part. So we've done all of these little slits that make it a little bit easier to just pull it over and start to roll. And you kind of want to, you can't really break it up, right? But you want to keep it nice and taut. And you want to roll it so that the seam is on the bottom. I like to throw the butcher's twine over my shoulders, that way I just don't have a huge long string hanging out and getting tangled. But this is super easy. So you're gonna bring the string right underneath it, right? And you're just gonna do a quick little knot here to hold it together. So this is the next part. So I like to hold this in my hand like this, and I do one turn, and I bring it through. It doesn't have to be perfect. If the tying is too hard, you can definitely go section by section and just do a normal knot until you get a uniform shape like this. So we are going to liberally season with salt again, and then we're going to wrap it up and let it sit in the fridge. Some recipes won't tell you to let it sit in the fridge like this. I just find that it holds its shape much better if you wrap it up and you let it sit with all of the seasoning for about a day before you roast it. This is really great if you're having a smaller Thanksgiving this year. No need to roast an entire turkey, but you can definitely do a roulade and still have a wonderful Thanksgiving. So it's been 24 hours in the fridge. It's been wrapped up, so it's got that perfect shape. And I'm just gonna unwrap it. We're gonna put it on this sheet pan and then coat it with a little bit of oil. The very last step is to just add a little bit of chicken stock at the base of the pan, just a little bit. And then straight into a 350-degree oven for about 45 minutes to an hour, or until the internal temperature is 160. All right, so our roulade has just come out of the oven, and so the last thing that I gotta do is just cover it for a few minutes, about 15 minutes, and let it rest, and then we'll slice into it. So I'm using the Schoon 8-inch chef's knife to cut this roulade into slices that are about a little over 1/2 inch. Oh guys, I got the spiral, look at that. All right. Okay, so this turkey has been resting and it is time to carve it. So it's very similar to the way you would normally carve a bird. You're gonna follow the natural lines. So you're gonna cut here, you're gonna cut here, you're gonna open up that wing joint and you're gonna cut it out, and then we'll go down the breastplate. So I'm gonna start with a chef's knife, and I'm gonna first start with the leg quarters. And so I'm just gonna follow this natural crease right here. Right? So you just gotta find the joints and, cut right through. And it should come out just perfect. Ta-da! All right, so we are all done. Our spatchcock turkey has been carved. Our roulade has come out of the oven. We've garnished. Thank you to our sponsors at Schoon Cutlery. These knives are seriously amazing. They stay super sharp, and they made spatchcocking and carving so easy. If you guys are looking for more Thanksgiving recipes and how-to, check out thefeedfeed.com. Thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, and happy Thanksgiving.